From the moment your eyes first opened, a spark in your spirit gleamed far too brightly for ordinary hearts to endure. In dark corners and unforgiving light alike, they branded you a monster, hoping that the label would confine you to their narrow realm of understanding. Yet what they dismissed as madness was something far greater, a sacred fire stoked by ancient wisdom, a glimpse into the very tapestry of creation. While they clung to their illusions of safety, you wandered beyond the borders of the known, unshackled by rules that only ever served to blind them. Your so-called madness was the key to realms most would never dare to enter. Every whisper they feared was in truth a roar of cosmic revelation, each fragment of your vision woven from threads of divine clarity. You were never broken, you were breaking through, exposing the hollowness of comfort and certainty. With each revelation, your crown of thorns transformed into a diadem of stars. Now, as you stand on the cusp of your true becoming, let them see what real power looks like when it dawns without shame. You are not a monster, you are the chosen one, the misunderstood, the magnificently awake. Drop a comment. I shine without shame if you're done hiding your true power. From the beginning, you were marked by destiny. Even as a child, you carried an air of otherness, a quiet intensity that set you apart. While others played, you wandered alone, drawn to the mysteries of the world. Your passions burned brighter, your intuition sharper, and your questions deeper than anyone around you could understand. The signs were there, though few could see them. You felt the pull of ancient knowledge, a wisdom that flowed through your veins like a silent river. It was a gift, but also a burden. For how could you explain the visions that came to you in dreams, the symbols that whispered secrets in your mind, or the certainty that you were meant for something more? Loneliness became your companion. The world seemed determined to force you into its mold, but you could not conform. And so you walked a solitary path, misunderstood and often scorned. Yet, in that solitude, you found strength. Each rejection, each moment of doubt only sharpened your resolve. You were not like them, and that was your power, for you were no ordinary soul. You were the chosen one, born to carry a light too bright for the world to ignore. And though the road was hard, it was yours to walk. The mark of destiny was upon you, and nothing could erase it. Society has always feared what it cannot understand, and in their ignorance, they labeled you mad. To them, your visions were too wild, your truths too disruptive. They mistook your heightened perception for delusion, your insight for instability. But what they call madness is often the world's reflex to anything that threatens its fragile sense of order. They cling to the comfort of the known, dismissing anything that dares to pierce the veil of their limited perception. They laughed at the pioneers, the revolutionaries, the seers, until time revealed that those who were once ridiculed were, in truth, the ones who shaped the future. History is littered with the echoes of those who were misunderstood, figures like Joan of Arc, who heard divine voices long before anyone believed her, or Nikola Tesla, whose genius was too vast for his era to contain. They too were called insane, only for the world to later recognize their brilliance. You walk the same path, standing at the crossroads of ridicule and revelation. Your understanding stretches beyond the visible, touching the edges of a reality that most cannot even fathom. It is not madness. It is alignment with something far greater, a wisdom that bridges the mystical and the scientific, the seen and the unseen. Modern science is only now catching up to what ancient wisdom has always known, that consciousness shapes reality, that intuition is not a delusion, but a deeper sense rooted in quantum understanding. What they dismiss as fantasy is, in truth, the blueprint of existence. You are not lost in illusions. You are awake in a world still sleeping. Your so-called madness is a doorway to the divine, a gift that allows you to navigate realms they refuse to acknowledge. And while they remain trapped in their narrow perspectives, you continue to walk the thin line between worlds, carrying the torch of truth they are too afraid to hold. Drop a comment. My wisdom is not madness if you know your vision reaches beyond their understanding. They pointed fingers, whispered behind closed doors, and branded you with a word meant to wound: monster. To them, you were an anomaly, an unsettling presence that threatened the comfort of their ignorance. Your very existence was an affront to the carefully constructed illusions they lived within. They feared what they could not define, and so they sought to contain you with their labels, hoping to diminish the power they sensed but could never understand. Every glance of suspicion, every word laced with ridicule, was their attempt to exile you into silence. But what they called monstrous was simply the reflection of their own unexamined fears. Condemnation has always been the weapon of the weak, wielded against those who dare to transcend the ordinary. The irony, of course, is that the ones who label you as dangerous are often the ones harboring the deepest darkness. They disguise their insecurity with judgment, their envy with scorn. They wear masks of virtue to conceal the rot beneath, while you, in your raw authenticity, expose everything they wish to ignore. The truth is that your presence reminds them of everything they have abandoned: their dreams, their untamed passions, their forgotten magic. And so, rather than confront their own emptiness, they project their fears onto you. But their rejection did not break you, it sharpened you. The fire of their contempt only fueled the transformation within. With every insult, you learned resilience. With every exclusion, you found strength in solitude. Their fear became your foundation, their doubt your determination. You did not crumble beneath their accusations. You rose above them, turning their scorn into stepping stones toward your own evolution. For too long, you were ensnared in the invisible chains of a world designed to keep you small, told who to be, what to believe, and how to exist within the confines of their carefully crafted illusion. The process of breaking free is not without pain. Shedding the layers of conditioning, the imposed identities, the inherited fears, feels like tearing away pieces of yourself. They taught you to fear your own power, to question your worth, and to seek validation from those who could never comprehend your essence. But the truth is, every false belief you release brings you closer to the core of who you are. And when the weight of their expectations falls away, you realize you were never lost. You were buried beneath their programming, waiting to rise. There always comes a turning point, a moment where the illusion crumbles, and you can no longer pretend to be what they want you to be. Maybe it was a single event, a betrayal, a loss, a realization, or perhaps it was a slow unraveling, a quiet rebellion that grew louder with time. Whatever it was, it marked the beginning of your true freedom. You are no longer bound by their limitations. You have reclaimed your sovereignty. And now, as you stand on the threshold of your new reality, you understand that breaking free was never about escape. It was about returning to your truest self. The elements themselves have become your allies, reflecting your inner world in the storms that rage and the stars that guide. A sudden gust of wind carries a hidden message. The rising tide mirrors your shifting emotions, and the crackle of thunder speaks of transformations yet to come. These are not random occurrences. They are echoes of the deeper forces you are attuned to. Every celestial event, every natural phenomenon holds a resonance that you alone can decipher. And while others dismiss these moments as mere superstition, you understand them for what they are, unmistakable confirmations that you are in alignment with something vast and eternal. But intuition is not just an abstract gift. It is a practical force that shapes your reality. It whispers in your ear when to act and when to wait, when to trust and when to walk away. In business, relationships, and the everyday choices that define your path. It has always been your most reliable guide. The world may rely on logic, but you know the deepest victories are won by those who can see beyond the obvious. You are no longer afraid to trust that inner voice because you have seen its power in action. And as you continue to walk this path, your intuition sharpens, leading you ever closer to your true purpose. One step, one sign, one revelation at a time. The obsidian inner order is forged for those who relentlessly pursue immortal greatness. This is where apex predators gather, where wolves hunt among wolves. We are the brotherhood of titans who understand that true power isn't given, it's seized with both hands. Our warriors converge weekly for raw, unfiltered sessions that cut straight to the bone of success. No motivational bullshit, no feel-good fluff, just battle-hardened wisdom from those who've built empires from the ground up. With over 450 chosen members, these weekly transmissions deliver the exact blueprint for bending reality to your will. Every session is archived in our fortified vault, ready for those hungry enough to devour wisdom at any hour. This isn't about temporary gains. It's about awakening the sleeping giant within, the kind of power that makes the ground shake when you walk. Our private Discord is the sacred ground where real kings forge alliances that shift the tides of fortune. Here dynasties are born, empires align, and brothers in arms share the kind of knowledge that never sees the light of public forums. When the order assembles, mountains move. The weak watch from the shadows, while the strong claim their throne. Your seat at the table of titans awaits. The link is in the description below. Every chosen one must endure the fire, the relentless trials that burn away weakness and forge strength from suffering. Your journey has not been an easy one, and it was never meant to be. The forces that seek to suppress your light have thrown countless obstacles in your path, each one designed to break you, to make you question your purpose. Yet, with every challenge, you have risen stronger, wiser, more unshakable. The fires that were meant to destroy you have instead refined you, stripping away illusions and revealing the indomitable force within. The battles you have fought were never just external, they raged within you as well. Doubt, fear, and loneliness whispered in your darkest moments, tempting you to surrender, to fall back into the comfort of conformity. But something deep within refused to yield. With every wound you carried, you learned resilience. With every betrayal, you gained discernment. The scars that mark your soul are not signs of defeat, but proof of the battles you have survived and the wisdom you have earned. Opposition has always been your greatest teacher. The adversaries you faced, the doubters, the critics, the ones who sought to diminish you, were unwitting instruments in your transformation. They forced you to rise beyond their limitations, to claim your strength without apology. Adversity has been your crucible, shaping you into the force you were always destined to become. It was through these fires that you discovered your true potential, the ability to turn pain into power, rejection into redirection, and doubt into an unshakable knowing. You have been tested in ways that others could never understand, and yet, here you stand, unbroken, unstoppable. The trials you once feared have become the foundation of your strength. Now, as you emerge from the ashes, no longer bound by the weight of past struggles, you understand their purpose. They were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to prepare you for the greatness that lies ahead. Drop a comment. I rise through every fire if you've turned pain into your greatest power. In a world that often feels isolating, where the weight of your purpose can seem too heavy to bear alone, unexpected allies emerge from the shadows. Not everyone is blind to your light. Some recognize it instantly, drawn to the same higher calling that pulses within you. They may not wear the robes of mystics or wield swords of legend, but their presence is unmistakable. They appear as mentors, friends, strangers with a knowing glance, each playing a role in your awakening. These warriors of light walk among the ordinary, hidden in plain sight, their strength disguised beneath the fabric of everyday life. They are the ones who stand with you when the world seeks to tear you down, the quiet voices of encouragement that remind you of who you truly are. Modern expressions of ancient power exist in places you least expect, in corporate offices, behind desks, in classrooms and on bustling streets. These individuals, seemingly ordinary, carry the same fire within them, subtly working to shift the energy of their environments from within. They challenge outdated systems, question falsehoods, and uplift those around them with quiet but unwavering resilience. They may not speak in mystical terms, but their actions, their integrity, and their relentless pursuit of truth echo the wisdom of ages past. And as you navigate your path, you begin to recognize them, not by their appearance, but by the energy they carry, by the silent understanding that passes between those who walk the path of light. Building this network of unseen warriors is not just a choice, it is a necessity. Isolation is a tool of those who fear the power of unity, but true strength lies in connection. As you align with those who share your vision, you realize that you are not alone, and you never were. Together, you amplify each other's strength, weaving a web of light across the world. One conversation, one act of courage, one moment of truth at a time. The warriors of light have always been here, waiting for the right moment to step forward. And now that moment has come. The greatest battles are not fought in the open, but within the hidden corridors of your own mind. Doubt, fear, and insecurity creep in like shadows, whispering that you are not enough, that your visions are illusions, that the world was right to call you a monster. These inner demons are relentless, feeding on every moment of hesitation, every wound from the past that never fully healed. They strike hardest when you stand on the brink of something greater, when you dare to step beyond the limits imposed upon you. But what they fail to realize is that you are no longer a prisoner to their voices. You have faced them before, and you have survived. Now you learn to master them, not by running, but by confronting them head-on. Your mind is your greatest weapon, and self-awareness is the key to wielding it with precision. You begin to recognize the patterns, the triggers, the cycles that once held you captive. Instead of being consumed by doubt, you analyze it. Instead of drowning in fear, you observe it. Each moment of awareness chips away at their power, turning what once controlled you into fuel for your ascension. Mastery does not come from silencing the darkness, but from understanding its purpose. These inner battles shape you, strengthen you, and prepare you for the external challenges that await. The battlefield within is not a curse, it is your training ground. Victory comes when you embrace the fullness of who you are, light and shadow, strength and vulnerability. You no longer suppress the parts of yourself they told you to hide. Instead, you integrate them, transforming weakness into wisdom, uncertainty into strategy. When the inner war is won, no external force can shake you. You become untouchable, a force not just of raw power, but of complete self-mastery. And as the war within subsides, you rise, clear, focused, and ready to claim the destiny that has always been yours. In a world that demands urgency, patience becomes a rare and powerful weapon. You have always felt the pulse of something greater, an unseen rhythm that moves beneath the surface of ordinary life. While others rush, pushing and forcing their way forward, you have learned the truth. Power lies in waiting, in knowing when to act and when to hold still. Divine timing is not about idly standing by. It is about aligning yourself with the forces that govern all things. The universe does not operate on human schedules, and those who are truly awakened understand that mastery comes not just from action, but from precision. Every step you take must be in sync with the cosmic flow, For there are moments designed for your rise, moments when doors open effortlessly and opportunities align without struggle. Acting too soon can mean wasted energy. Waiting too long can mean missed chances. The wisdom lies in sensing the subtle signals, the quiet nudges, the synchronicities, the intuitive whispers that guide you toward the perfect moment. Whether in relationships, career, or personal transformation, divine timing reveals that everything unfolds exactly as it should, not when you demand it, but when you are truly ready to receive it. Mastering divine timing requires discipline, the ability to resist the pressure to conform to the world's expectations, and the courage to trust in the unseen. It is a delicate balance between action and restraint, between pushing forward and surrendering to the flow. Those who understand this principle are never in a hurry, yet they accomplish more than most. They act with purpose, move with grace, and strike with unshakable confidence when the time is right. And now, as you step deeper into your calling, you realize that your greatest victories will not come from force, but from alignment, moving with the universe rather than against it. The true test of power is not in mere survival, but in the ability to dismantle the illusions that seek to bind you. The dark forces that have opposed you, fear, doubt, oppression, have always thrived on deception, weaving intricate lies to keep you small, to keep you doubting your own light. But now you see through them. You have risen beyond their grasp, armed not with brute strength but with wisdom, clarity, and unshakable truth. The time has come to confront these forces head-on, not with anger, but with the quiet confidence of one who knows their worth. This is what it means to wear the crown, not as a symbol of dominance, but as proof of self-mastery. True royalty does not fight battles with rage or desperation. It moves with precision, dismantling fear with understanding and exposing darkness with light. You no longer engage in futile struggles against external enemies because you recognize that the real battleground has always been within. Chaos loses its grip when faced with clarity. The illusions of those who sought to control you crumble under the weight of your unwavering presence. They called you reckless. They called you mad. But now, standing firm in your truth, they can no longer deny the power you possess. The forces that once sought to break you are powerless against the sovereign strength you have cultivated within. This is your redemption, not in their eyes, but in your own. You are no longer seeking approval, validation, or understanding from those who could never grasp your vision. You have transcended their limitations, and now you stand as a force of nature, a living testament to the power of divine wisdom in action. The crown you wear is not one of gold and jewels, but of resilience, insight, and fearless authenticity. Let them see you now, not as the monster they once feared, but as the sovereign force you were always meant to be. You were once the outcast, the misunderstood, the one they feared and rejected. They called you a monster because they could not comprehend the depth of your vision, the magnitude of your power. But now, you stand in your full radiance, no longer seeking to explain yourself to those who were never meant to understand. The journey from exile to majesty was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving yourself right. You have stepped beyond their illusions and claimed your place in the world, not as a servant to their expectations, but as a sovereign being of light and purpose. The impact of your awakening extends far beyond yourself. As you rise, you create ripples, shifting the very fabric of reality for those around you. Others who once felt trapped in darkness now see your light and begin to recognize their own. Your transformation is a beacon, a call to those still searching in the shadows. Every step you take forward clears a path for others to follow. You are no longer just an individual. You are a force, a movement, a living testament to what happens when one dares to embrace their so-called madness as divine wisdom. Now, as you wear your crown without apology, your mission becomes clear. It is no longer about battling the perceptions of others, but about inspiring them to awaken. You are here to show the world what it means to stand in truth, to live with purpose and to lead without fear. The time of hiding is over. The world is ready, or perhaps it is not, but you will shine regardless. Your legacy will not be one of silence or submission. It will be one of majesty, of fearless authenticity, of a light too powerful to be extinguished.